Happy gas leak, everybody.
What a way to start the new year.
What a way to start the new year with the residual gas leak. So we're recording this. Look, let's a peek behind. It's 2026. It's time we finally peek behind the curtain of LA Meekly. We recorded the hit podcast Candy is Dandy last night. Mm-hmm. In the middle of the recording, we all seemed to smell gas, but didn't want to call anybody out
because
it's rude.
It's rude, but also he who smelt it.
He who smelt it has to probably face some sort of
financial consequences,
some sort of class action lawsuit. Because in the middle of that, apparently this gas leak that happened in Castaic started. So we've been huffing gas for a whole night.
And you forgot to mention, we got it in between episodes. So that first episode was loopy. We were weird. Bafflingly weird.
It was weird. And then it all made sense. It was like finally getting that diagnosis we've been waiting for.
I knew it the whole time.
The doctor finally said, yes, you have gas leak. And that explains everything.
Yeah.
So things will probably be weird again. We still got a little gas on the brain. And hey, it's 2026. At least there's not a wildfire with a gas leak.
Oh, hey, that was last New Year's.
I know. Imagine if the gas leak is going to combine with the wildfire.
Oh no, the fireworks got too close to the gunpowder factory.
Oh no, the flammable peanut butter got into the flammable chocolate.
You know what sounds good right now?
What sounds really good?
Flammable
a flaming
chocolate.
peanut butter cup. Because this is L.A. Meekly.
Meekly, the podcast that'll have you saying, what? Gas leak? What?
What are we? What?
I don't. Somebody I worked at Sorny with, Blake.
At what?
Sorny. I call it Sorny.
Oh.
There's a Asian movie called Cure. It's really
what
good.
Movie? This gas leak is getting to my ears. An H movie? What did you say?
Asian movie. I think it's
movie.
Korean.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Because I don't recognize the term Asian. I go into specifics.
Yeah.
I want to know where they're from.
What city?
What papers do they have?
But the character in there is always sort of like, bad guy's like, what? Huh? What? And he would do that impression, and I don't know why it made me laugh so much. What?
I really do feel like I've been affected by this gas leak.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired. My throat kind of hurts.
You've been loopy for the last 10 years. So probably the gas leak.
It must be the gas leak that I knew was coming.
My body predicted it.
It prematurely turned me into Daffy Duck.
You wish.
Fine, Donald Duck. Yeah. Well, look, this is Daniel Zaffron, the king of the gas.
This is Greg Gonzalez, the prince of the gas.
The prince of the petroleum.
That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And today we're here to celebrate lineage.
What are you tying up over there?
I'm loosening my shoes. I took them off, but I don't want to shove them back in the tied shoe later.
Because Phantom might appear and eat those laces.
Oh, and finally hook him out.
But he's been basking in the sun. I also think he is affected by the gas leak. He didn't even come to say hi to Greg, which I mean, finally there's an excuse for him to not do that.
Oh my God. Usually he comes in and kisses the ring because he knows his godfather's here.
Yeah.
On the day of my godson's wedding.
On the day of my daughter's gas leak. It's because normally on your ring you have like ham juice all the time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I dip it. Dip it. I finish my shift over at Philippe's where I'm just dipping. Yeah. Taste the ring.
That's
everybody.
how you seal all of your postcards that you send to people on Patreon. But look, this is the world's only LA history podcast that is recording during a gas leak. An active gas leak. Brave. We're heroes. We are more than heroes. We're gods.
Everyone's walking around saying no gods, no masters. One God.
Yeah, one God. Two gods.
Two gods.
Come on. We can share it.
We can one chair, we split half a butt each.
Well, in ancient Greek culture, to have one butt cheek is a high honor for the Greek gods. But this is the show where we go over the history of Los Angeles, month by month, piece by piece, gas leak by gas leak. We've lived through so many gas leaks at this point.
At least two.
Upwards of two that we're aware of.
Yeah.
But before we do get into that, we do have some new patrons, Greg.
Get out of town.
I wish I could from this gas leak. Whom, you ask? Well, guess what? Speaking of family businesses in this episode, we've got the heir of one of the most important family businesses, one of the most important small family businesses in America, nay, the world, Jesse Starbuck.
Jesse Starbuck?
Yeah. He's not just a side character in Star Fox video games anymore.
Wow, Jesse Starbuck. thank you for joining, for getting on the ship. We promise to not make you walk the plank.
Yeah. I mean, not for a Starbucks,
No,
certainly.
for a certainly. A Chandler and a Starbuck? No. We won't do that.
No, because he did promise to give us all of the codes to get into the bathroom at Starbucks that we can handle, and I can handle all.
Trust me. After a cup of Joe.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I'm old timey,
I mean, you want to talk about a gas leak? Meet me in the Starbucks bathroom. You'll see a lot of leaks in there. But the other person we've got here, we got 2 new people. Can you believe it?
2 new people.
The other person we have is Amy Matthews.
Hi, Amy. Amy Matthews.
Obviously the heir to the Dave Matthews fortune.
Thank you for just being brave enough to be a Nepo baby. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for telling your dad to open up the tour bus over that bridge in Chicago and just dump all the feces on those brave tourists. Was that Dave Matthews' band?
I don't know.
I think it was Dave
Matthews. I don't know that story.
Band. I should ask Amy.
Yeah, right in.
Hey, why'd your dad do this? And I'm going to ask her that publicly.
We gathered here today to ask one important question.
Does anybody object to the marriage of Amy Matthews and Jesse Starbuck? I do.
I have a question.
Not an objection, just a familial question.
A familial question, a little bit of a concern.
Speaking of it's in the zeitgeist right now, and I've got a gas leak in my brain, so I'm just hopping everywhere.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Amy Matthews, Dave Matthews' band, Dave Matthews' daughter. It's funny that Stranger Things is on right now. Millie Bobby Brown got married from one musician's name, Millie Bobby Brown, to Millie Bon Jovi.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I hadn't even clocked
spoilers for season 5.
Yeah, Bon Jovi comes out and he's Vecna.
11 marries Bon Jovi at the end because it is the 80s.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, 11 Bon Jovi.
And she heard Wanted Dead or Alive, and she's like, I gotta have that.
I too am living on a prayer, Papa. Is that Bon Jovi?
I don't know.
I don't care about Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I don't listen enough music anymore.
But I do love Vecna.
The way he has no skin.
I love Vecna's first album. So if you too can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/ let me double check this / Bon Jovi.
What?
Patreon.com / LA Meekly for as little as $5 a month. You'll get a handwritten postcard from us every month. Or you could join at the $1 level. You don't get a darn thing, but any level you join on, you get a free sticker just for joining. A free LA Meekly podcast sticker.
Oh,
it's not just a random sticker.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it.
It's an address label. It's nobody though.
Yeah.
It's just or an address that you live at. It's just an address label.
We just found it in the street.
Yeah,
we don't know what to do with it.
We don't know.
It feels irresponsible to throw it away.
Yeah, I think it's illegal to throw away address labels. It's like tearing up a $20 bill. But before we get into what we're doing in January. Let's talk about something we did last month in the month of December, the last month of 2025, the month of the gas leak.
As they told us November 31st.
Stop rocking back and forth. You were doing this last night too. The gas leak is getting to you that you're like going like this in your chair.
What, can you hear it? Do you think it's audio distinction?
You can hear the gas when you're back away from the microphone. We don't want to hear the gas.
Oh, okay. It whispers.
You know what I did in December? I was up in Castaic with a lighter.
Is that a problem?
Is that going to be problematic by the time this episode comes?
I wonder. We'll check the body count. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if this is funny or not.
My birthday was this month. I
forgot to text you.
It's fine. You were at Machu Picchu. The other one.
The Mexican Machu Picchu.
Yeah, Mexican Machu Picchu.
By the way, not even at the Mexican Machu Picchu, a different Mexican Machu Picchu. I was busy. I forgot to text him on his birthday because we were at Teotihuacan.
We
were exhausted.
Always out of town on my birthday. It's strange.
Yeah, it's the cheapest time of year to fly. Everyone wants to get out of town.
Everyone's fleeing.
LAX is a ghost town.
Yeah. Nobody wants to leave. I went to HMS Bounty, which is a bar connected to the Gaylord building across the street from the Ambassador.
That's where we went after we did the Ambassador field trip episode.
It was, yeah. We stopped in, right?
We just walked in to see it. We didn't do anything in there.
Well, I went there and I got drunk on my birthday. Pretty nice. What'd you do?
I was in the bar at Teotihuacan. It's
not doing that.
Yeah, that's a night. It's boat themed.
It's boat themed.
HMS.
Yeah, HMS Bounty's boat themed. It's very old and ornate, and just great December vibes.
Wasn't there talk of it like maybe closing in the recent past, or I don't know?
Not that I know of. I would have flipped out about it. Everything else is closing.
Yeah, you could say that about any place.
It's true.
80% of the time, it will be true.
Yeah.
Do they have food?
Yes, they do.
Good food.
They have food.
They have fish food, Greg.
They have fish. The fish work there.
It's at night, it's the HMS Bounty. During the day, it's the Krusty Krab, actually.
And you better have exact change. Because Mr. Krabs is going to steal stuff from you.
I remember thinking it was nice in there, but I also, there's a bar in Venice that is also boat themed, like right by the pier. Isn't
really?
there? And we've talked about it before, and I get those two mixed up because I think it also has a boat name and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, it's SS Minnow.
It's the Pequod?
Yeah, it's the...
Weird.
It's a Queen Mary?
Yeah, there's this
really
boat.
great
It's kind of near Venice, connected by water.
They're both on the Pacific.
Yeah. Winston Churchill used to work there or something. Well, you want to hear what I did? Mine is also, yours is drink related.
Uh-huh.
Mine is food related.
Wow,
Would you believe it?
I would not believe it.
That I ate something in this month.
You were on a hunger strike last time we talked. I didn't know it broke. I didn't know you, the workers are allowed to work again.
Yeah. I was doing...
Did I stop? That was what your hunger strike was about. Did they stop?
Yeah, I said I would never eat again until Donald Trump becomes a reasonable man. So now I'm just eating all the time. He is so reasonable now that it's 20. So much has happened since the gas leak. I now think Donald Trump is a reasonable man.
Yeah, he completed 2 sentences.
Because I live in a gas leak now. You know, as we alluded to, we were at Teotihuacan.
Yes, you were.
and around that, we were in Mexico City. So we thought like, well, we're going to get sick of Mexican food. And then when we got back, all we wanted was Mexicans.
Yeah.
Mexicans food.
So
not just Mexican, I want food from Mexican people. Like Mexican families, I want to go to their homes and take their food.
No. You're from El Salvador. I simply can't eat it.
I can't eat this food.
I can't eat this food.
But we have been looking for like different, you know, like, because most Mexican places are like the same. So we've been looking for Mexican places that do like different sort of Mexican things around LA. And we found this place. It's an entire mini food hall in Panorama City called LA Chef's Kitchen. Have you heard of this?
No, look at my face when you said Panorama City.
Oh, he's doing sort of like it's like Charlie Chaplin wiggling his mustache.
I think he's excited about Panorama City.
Greg is seemingly poo-pooing an entire demographic, it seems.
Think of all the people who live in Panorama City who think it's 1977 still. Go ahead.
Oh, as if you don't like to live in the year 1977.
Oh my
Star
God.
Wars just came out in Panorama City. They just got it.
The Clash album just dropped. And you're going to be upset?
They still have a Woolworths in Panorama City, Greg. It's great.
The last circuit city in the country is in Panorama City.
Yeah, and they don't even have electronics. They don't know what it's for yet. It was just always there.
They have 2  8-track players and a ham radio.
Yeah. They have a TV that only shows the Ed Sullivan Show. And that's what they sell. And people in Panorama City buy this. Okay, here's the thing. The parking is terrible, like really, really bad. But inside this little food hall, there's like 10 different restaurants. You got a Peruvian place.
Okay.
You got a Colombian place.
Nice.
You have some Asian places, and you've got like 2 or 3 different types of Mexican places.
Oh,
like
wow.
one of them we got tamales at, which they claim to have had these things that I didn't get to try, which is a tamale in a sandwich.
Ooh.
But I didn't see it on the menu. So, but then they also have like a Mexican street food sort of restaurant. So it's like Pombazos. But we got the tamales and it was very good. So LA Chef's Kitchen in Panorama City.
LA Chef's Kitchen.
LA Chef's Kitchen.
Panorama City.
Panorama City. Good luck parking. But the food's really good. I assume the other places are also good, but you could get anything you want.
Anything. Black market.
It's
Dark web. You can get a tamale. I can get you a tamale on the black web.
You could get it at one of those Ed Sullivan TV shows, televisions we were talking about.
If you see a commercial on those TVs and you call and order it, it'll come.
It will, but it has a catch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it comes with a monkey paw. Did I tell you my dad once ordered, I think, one of those teacup monkeys? No,
you did?
Yeah.
What happened to it?
Am I the monkey? Did I grow up to be the monkey?
I don't want to tell you. He told me not to tell you.
Is that movie Primate about me?
Yeah. Congo's about you.
Well, that was it.
I'm Amy. I'm Daniel.
Father, why was I wrapped in a Superman comic when I was born?
Ask them if they have tamales.
Do they do the tamale sandwich? Father, Greg is mixing a Coke Zero I got him with a Coke Classic that he got at Carney's.
Can you hear the sound of success? That's what it sounds like, boys.
Wow. Greg has so much. Greg loves ice, apparently. Can you believe it? Greg just dog whistled by shaking that ice cup into the... We all know.
I love what makes this cold.
That makes a lot more sense why he made that face when I said Panorama City.
I have to look at all of it? It's a panorama? I just want to look at one section of it.
Veloslavsky's Panorama City. So look, it's January.
It's 40 minutes into the episode. It's January.
We've discussed every single meal we've eaten in December, as we do at the beginning of every episode. So let's talk about what we're talking about when we talk about January. Because look,
spring.
The hottest month of the year, when the wildfires happen. But December, it's the big consumerist month. We're buying all this junk for our quote unquote loved ones.
They haven't proved it anytime recently.
What have they done for me lately is what all the cards I give people say. But we bought so much stuff from God knows where. It's time to focus on some family run businesses in Los Angeles, some legacy businesses that are still going.
They exist.
They exist.
They do exist
for now.
And it's not just the Chandlers and the Hearsts.
You know, it's funny because I was looking at because there are family businesses. We were talking about Jesse Star. I don't know if the Starbucks still owns Starbucks, but the Cheesecake Factory started in Los Angeles and I believe is still run by the Cheesecake family or whatever family started it. But I was like, is that a family business? It technically is a family business, but it doesn't fit the ethos of what a family business is.
I absolutely agree with you. I mean, it's funny because to us Southern Californians, In-N-Out is a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
Even though they have In-N-Outs in there's I think the Mars Rover has an In-N-Out. A small In-N-Out. You can only get a couple things.
They just opened their first In-N-Out on Alpha Centauri. It's crazy. And they really like how religious it is.
Yeah, that's kind of, they threw the food away. So we think of I forgot their name. It's not the Stewarts, but we think of In-N-Out as the legacy family of Southern California.
Yeah. There is even Panda Express, I think is still run, but also we've covered those before, but these are more locally focused family businesses. One of them is quite big. It isn't though. It's big in the lore of Los Angeles, but I think there's 6 locations in the whole world and they're all around here.
I work 2 hours away and people know Porto, so you just haven't had it.
Hey. Whoa. That's pretty crazy though to think Porto's as a place. Yeah. Because there's so many, you're the world traveler here, Greg. But you go to a city and you're like, oh, this place is supposed to be great. I got to make sure to go there. And meanwhile, living in Los Angeles, there's 50 of those places and I haven't even gone to all of them. Or I go to them once every 5 years.
The way I feel about I won't be able to watch all the movies that sound good in my lifetime, that's you with Ethiopian food.
That's a grim thought.
Oh yeah, I think about it all the time. I think constantly.
That's my default thought.
My baseline is, oh no, I don't have enough time to watch. Can I watch All About Eve again?
Yeah, you better rewatch all the Avengers again.
Shut up.
Before you die. So to clarify, we're going to be talking about family businesses. We got 3 different family businesses for you, and I'm going to start us off here.
I can't wait to hear the first line of this.
Mama always said life is like a box of feces. Is that what you were explaining?
Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
Word for word, inflection by inflection, that's exactly what you thought.
You couldn't see, but I was mouthing the words along with you, like a mirror trick.
It was like Lucy and Harpo looking at each other. So it's time to hear the tale of the name we all know and dread having to use, Andy Gump.
Oh, desperate times call for desperate feces.
Desperate times call for, I got to take a gump. I don't know.
Nah, that
really should be.
I don't think that you should have jumped it.
Look, I really think that they should have their slogan be, I got to take a gump.
Guts full of gump.
So Andy Gump, yes, the Porta Potty Company.
Yep.
Although I think Porta Potty technically is a different brand name.
Okay.
I think they're just portable toilets is maybe the generic. I'm
not going to say that.
Andy Gumps. Yeah. Have you ever, you've used these.
Yep.
I've seen them.
I have no shame.
Have you ever had to do the worst in an Andy Gump? Really?
Not every time, but obviously
not every time.
No, something's wrong with my stuff. Yeah, something's wrong with my guts.
Whenever I'm at a street fair, I always save it up for days so I can go and I got to take a gump.
Yeah, I did, but luckily it wasn't
so unfortunate.
It was really bad. It was whoever came next, but it wasn't like the only one with a long line. It was like one of 20.
That would be.
That's the way you do it.
Both situations are bad. One is demonstrably worse. Yeah.
Less bad.
I mean, I've peed in that. I peed all over them all the time, but thank God I have never had to do that. But hey, at least they're there.
You're still young.
I've got so much life left to live.
You have so much bad food ahead of you.
I'm so much younger than you. My stomach hasn't deteriorated like yours has.
Yeah, after your first cigarette that you try, you're gonna. Oh no, something's wrong.
I gotta take a gump. So our story begins with Messina Gump.
Okay.
Massena. I have never heard that name before. I thought it was like a Persian name or something, but I think it's like Italian or French actually. I think it might be I know he's white. He's a white guy.
He's a white guy. I've heard Messina before.
Really?
I just don't know where.
As a first name?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of John Cena.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind.
Oh, that's your second default thought. Boy, I'm going to die before I can watch all the El Santo movies. And then the second thought is John Cena's so great.
John Cena. It's not even John Cena anything. John Cena. It's a simple thought. John Cena.
So Messina Gump was born in Claremore, Oklahoma in 1910. At an early age, his parents moved the family to Colorado to run a gas station and cafe, where Messina seems to have become a teacher and met his wife, Irma. And then the Dust Bowl hit.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Teachers had to be melted down into dust. They pulverized them. In 1936, Messina and Irma fled the poverty of the Dust Bowl and moved to the still pretty dry, but at least it's not dusty, Pacoima.
Pacoima.
Are you going to make a face about Pacoima now?
I like Pacoima.
You like Pacoima, but you don't like Panorama City?
No.
Wow. Is it the murals?
Yep.
Is it because of Richie Valens?
Forget it. I don't want to say, but it's because of
Do you want to know
Ricardo Valenzuela.
Do you want to? You know his real name. You know Richie Valens. Well, you know the Big Boppers from from Panorama City.
That's why
he's so big.
It's Panorama.
Yeah, he had to be. So starting their lives over from scratch, Messina bought some dump trucks.
Okay.
Could have called them gump trucks. And started hauling gravel and sand to the construction sites that started sprouting up all over Los Angeles as we entered our mid-century boom.
Okay.
But when the war ended and Hitler was never seen again.
Didn't have to learn a different language.
He didn't visit Teotihuacan first, did he? So he found him. Was he eating pambazos in Panorama City?
Ein pomazo.
Pollo, nine, carne asada. And that's our new character, Hitler in Mexico City. Hitler in Argentina. Alfajores, ay caramba, 9. And that's Hitler in Argentina. So he found himself in a brief construction lull when the war ended. So I guess like there was a weird period before like, oh, we're building stuff and then we're really building stuff.
Yeah.
So there was this weird lull. Should we? Is it really over?
Yep,
should we? No, you first.
They brought all the hammers and nails and like, what do you mean we're still in Japan? What's Korea?
What's Korea?
Yeah.
Is Korea Japan? So to make money during this lull, he used his Gump trucks to haul Christmas trees from Oregon to sell them in a lot in Pacoima.
Okay.
He struck up a conversation with one of the guys who came in to buy a tree who owned a business draining cesspools.
Cool.
Which is such a gross idea. Do you know what a cesspool is exactly?
Yeah, isn't it all the sewage pipes collect to one area?
Yeah, it's like I think it was like before there was like a better plumbing or like places that don't have good plumbing systems. Yeah, they just all it's indoor plumbing, but they all just drain into like a pit in the ground.
Yeah, I think that right. That's a cesspool.
That's what I understand a cesspool to be, other than Washington D.C. Am I right? Am I right?
I don't know. I haven't checked in on politics.
This might be the gas leak talking, but is Washington D.C. a cesspool?
Is it bad?
Is America bad? Wow, no.
Well, he watches one Ken Burns documentary.
He tries one Bombazo. So Gump heard that thought of draining cesspools and thought, wow, Hollywood, sign me up. So he convinced the guy in 1946 to sell him his cesspool draining business for $300, $200 of which he had to borrow from his dad and his uncle. And business was good and gross.
I hope that you get paid for doing that. For doing a disgusting job, I hope you get paid well.
I think it depends what's in there.
Yeah.
What
doesn't taste good?
It
tastes like crap. It is crap.
This is where's the pool? So he did this for a few years, but as we know, one huge thing happened in LA in the 50s, the housing boom. This meant tons of construction sites. Yeah, we know this. We know all of the construction that's going on. What we never knew, though, was that to go along with this, a law was passed that required portable restrooms to be at every construction site.
Wow.
And suddenly a light bulb went off in old Gump's cesspool. And who swallowed this? I know tanks full of human waste. Why don't I fill this new need in the market like my clients fill their holes in the ground?
Your ancestor was the one who filed the lawsuit for there to be bathrooms at construction sites. Because I imagine that it's so you coded.
And make sure that there's music playing in them as well. And they're like 70 yards away from the
mariachi bed right outside the porta potty. You said music, right? You wanted music?
They have to wear headphones though.
I hear a tuba. There's no tuba player though.
A nice tuba solo. The tuba player's sick today. So he went into the garage of his house in Mission Hills. He was living in Mission Hills at the time. And together with his sons, Barry and Bill, built 5 prototype portable bathrooms out of old plywood and some steel framing.
Okay.
He called his business Mission Sanitation, but the guy doing the sign painting on the units, Larry Fontana, suggested he use his own name on them instead, Messina Gump.
Okay.
For some reason, Gump was hesitant to have his name written on the side of a bunch of construction worker dump houses, but he decided to give it a try, but with his nickname instead, Andy.
Okay.
Andy Gump. The nickname coming from a comic strip that started in 1917 called The Gumps, where the main guy was named Andy Gump.
Funny.
So people called him Andy Gump.
Okay.
Then the sign painter had another idea, add the word another before the name. This way it wasn't only the name of the company, but also kind of a slogan all in one. So that's why they all say another ... Andy Gump.
Funny.
On them, which also kind of created the sense that there's so many of them and that these must be the brand that you go with.
Yeah, a sheet fleet like that.
No,
I actually don't.
I don't like that at all. But
sign painters have great ideas.
The true heroes.
The true heroes of the story.
Behind every great inventor, there's a great sign painter. But I always wondered, that was when, like, I've had Andy Gump written down in my notebook for a long time, but find one immediately, usually followed by.
That's your field of dreams.
If I gump it.
Yeah, if you gump it.
I always wondered, like, why does it, I always see that and think, another Andy Gump. But, like, I always wondered, why does it say that now? It's just a weird kind of marketing thing made by a sign painter. Even though at this point there were only 5 of them, they still were like, another Andy Gump. So Andy Gump temporary site services began in 1956, and it worked, and more construction sites started contracting them to provide their vile stink houses. And the rest, as they say, is history. It was a family-run operation to begin with. Andy was the one in charge, but his wife Irma and daughter Sherilyn were the ones keeping the books and taking the orders and taking names as well. They said they came here to do 2 things.
The first one they don't want to talk about.
The first one they don't want to talk about, and also chewing bubble gum, and their bowels are empty, and they want more gum. What?
I don't know. Yeah.
So that carried over into the 70s when Andy retired from the business and handed over the reins to their son Barry, who expanded the scope of the company to other construction site needs as well. Barry was a licensed electrical contractor, so he decided to buy some power lines and poles from a guy he knew. He got them at a sheriff's auction, and the company started incorporating temporary power generators for construction sites as well. From there, they branded into temporary fencing and barricades, and then to mobile storage and office units, all for construction sites.
Okay.
Then in the 80s came another seismic event in LA history. The 84 Olympics.
Oh, right.
And someone needed to catch what all those international spectators were dropping. They're eating a lot of food they're not used to.
Yeah. Their bodies, they don't have a chance.
Someone from Europe coming here and eating a hamburger.
A Tommy's burger?
A Tommy's burger.
Destroyed. That person died. That little British boy.
They lowered the life expectancy of all of Portugal during those 2 glorious weeks. So Barry Gump knew that he needed to secure the contract to provide toilets for the 84 Olympics, but he also knew they weren't a big enough company to get the job done. Instead, he decided to team up with his rival portable toilet companies and created a sort of toilet coalition to provide what the Olympics needed.
Nice.
In all, Andy Gump provided 800 poo-poo palaces, which was a third of all the toilets at the 84 Olympics were Andy Gump's. It's so fun. Like, this whole story is so funny to think about, of like all the big events we've been talking about since the 50s.
Yeah.
Like, Andy Gump was there.
Yeah.
The spirit of Andy Gump was implied to be there.
Yeah. We talked about the opening of In-N-Out, but do you ever think about who's right
before
around the
they
corner?
had built-in bathrooms. Yeah. And the success and income the Olympics brought in for the company allowed them to expand the business even further. They were able to build more units, but now to house them, they needed more space. So they moved their headquarters to Santa Clarita in 1985, which is where they still are today.
Okay.
Which was another stroke of luck, because the mid to late 80s was when the housing boom of Santa Clarita began.
Okay.
And look who was right next to all the construction sites without
it probably happened around
a
them.
shred of toilet paper. Yeah, they suspicious. You can trace all of the housing developments to wherever there's an Andy Gump. Better look through their septic tanks and find some more clues. So this boosted them even further. Over the following years, they secured deals with construction companies like KB Homes, who we've talked about before.
Yeah.
That's Broad. S&S Development Group and D.R. Horton, as well as having provided for the Renaissance Fair for a while. And also they did the 2002 Salt Lake Winter Olympics, as well as many, many sporting events and concerts around LA, as well as countless movie and TV shoots for which they not only provide high-end toilets that flush.
Yes, they do.
And are bigger and have TV screens and play music, but they also provide showers to these movie sets. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, the toilets drain right into the shower head. It's pretty good. They also do ADA compliant toilets and standalone sinks, as well as solar powered units. But you don't want to be in there when the clouds come rolling in.
No, you're going to be on your own.
Andy Gump is not responsible for what happens to you in one of our toilets during the brainstorm. They now have storage yards in Santa Clarita, Fontana, San Diego, Antelope Valley, and one in North Hollywood right by the Burbank Airport that they call the Barn.
Oh.
This is where they keep the celebrity toilets, Greg.
Celebrity toilets with bidets?
Yeah, they're just shaped like celebrities. Big open mouths. The ones they use for the Oscars and celebrity weddings and parties are in North Hollywood.
Oh, is that right?
So you can get their autograph if you want. They probably signed them all. If you look closely, you can even find the toilets they used when Prince William and Kate went to a polo match in Santa Barbara.
At Sony's...
that toilet got knighted.
At Sony's holiday party, I think we had those luxury porta potties.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
I can. It's a room in here. Is that a stove? I asked the guy handing out towels.
I could do a 3 in here. But even with the guy handing out towels, that's a Gump family member. A Gump family member handing out towels in every unit, just standing there watching you.
Apprentices.
But even with all this glamour, humble construction sites still remain the majority of their business. And the name Andy Gump has become a local kind of Kleenex shorthand for what you call a portable toilet. They weren't the first company to make portable toilets, but they've been doing it for so long without selling out to a bigger corporation that many people think that they were the first, but they weren't. They still remain to this day run by the Gumps. Andy Gump died in 1998 and Barry died in 2017, but the company is now run by the third generation of Gump, Barry's daughter, Nancy. She grew up being teased constantly at school by other kids saying things like, "You must have a crappy life." But she grew,
pretty funny.
And that kid grew up to be Lenny Bruce. But she grew to embrace her family's work by adopting the moniker of the Princess of Portable Sanitation.
That's
forever locked into a battle with her arch nemesis, the clown Duke of Diarrhea. That's the story of Andy Gump. That's really what struck me the most about this is like, really, we've talked about like, it's the things you don't think about.
Yeah.
Like the people building all of the houses that made Los Angeles needed to go to the bathroom and they were in Andy Gumps.
That's, it is really strange. The shadow characters in all the stories.
I know. This is the Snoke of LA history.
Wonderful. And you know
Wonderful.
what?
Delightful.
I gotta go to the bathroom now.
I kind of talking about the Andy Gump so much. I kind of have to.
I kind of woke something up.
I'm going to save it.
Use this.
Yeah, I'm going to use this Gumpy energy I've got, and then I will take a Gump later.
A big one.
Yeah.
The neighbors will be talking. I'm going to start mine now. You ready?
I'm ready. What you have would look nice in a Gump.
It would look really nice in a Gump. And maybe one day the Pope can use this.
Yeah. How about Judson by Gump? Yeah, they made a special bulletproof one for the Pope when he came.
And I've been taking shots at that stained glass angel for a good minute now.
Yeah, it's see-through.
He's doing it weird. I'm going to be talking.
That's God's way.
It's in the Ten Commandments. I'm going to be talking about
Commandment number 2. What are you going to be talking about?
I'm going to be talking about a local institution here, Judson Studios, the makers of many stained glass pieces of art we have at all kinds of places that we've talked about before.
Another thing, like all of the, you know what, it really is weird. Like all of these companies are kind of providing the background and decoration of our lives. And boy, do I decorate an Andy Gump.
I should put a Andy Gump at the Hollyhock house, dead center in the middle of the big carpet room. The lineage of the Judsons in America begins with William Lees Judson, born in Manchester, England in April of 1842. At this point, the Judson men were already 1842.
Did he even know Prince William?
He was a different guy though. At this point, the Judson men were already generations deep in art craftsmanship. Both his grandfather and father, John Randall Judson, had apprenticed in decorative arts, which includes stained glass work. But his dad primarily worked in a cotton mill until strikers burned down the cotton mill in 1852. In 1854, 2 years later, when William Lees was...
That stuff burns.
It's bad.
If you're going to burn a place down, don't burn a cotton mill down.
No.
That's going to go quick.
Yeah.
Try the polyester mill.
Try the plastic factory. In 1854, William Lees was 12. The Judsons crossed the Atlantic so Father John could find work, and they landed in the United States. His father found work as a decorator in New York and Ohio, but again, mostly found himself farming to make ends meet. The Judsons, which were comprised of mom and dad and 5 kids, settled down in Brooklyn, but they're only there for a little while.
Where is it? Where is Brooklyn? Where is Brooklyn?
Where is Brooklyn?
That's my favorite song. Where is Brooklyn?
Coming out of Jay-Z, it's much better. William began studying decorative arts under his father while also attending public schools of Brooklyn in the 19th century before, once again, the entire family moved to Canada. He had plenty of odd jobs as a teenager, but as his bloodline demanded, his interest leaned more into art. So he was sketching landscapes and working as a painter upon his first trip back to the U.S. in August of 1860 when William was 18 years old. While on his visit of the Great Lakes region, he checked out concerts, booked auctions, and attended the Grand Torchlight Parade, which celebrated the election of Abraham Lincoln.
Oh my God, what concerts was he going to? Was it a Kiss concert? It was the Great Lakes area. He was
actually Kid Rock. He used to be, the parties used to be a lot different back then.
It was a long time ago, so he was actually just conceived rock. He hadn't even become Kid Rock yet.
Infant rock? Speaking of Abraham...
Neonatal rock?
Speaking of Abraham Lincoln, when the Civil War broke out, Judson was in Illinois and he decided to enlist with the 21st Illinois Volunteers who served under the direct command of Ulysses S. Grant.
Wait a minute. He was just visiting from Canada and he said, I'm going to join the war that this country is in?
Yeah.
That's like if I had joined the cartel when I was in Mexico City.
They make a lot of good points. I just didn't make up my mind.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he was served under Ulysses S. Grant. Wow.
And not only...
Who's that?
He sounds good. Who is he?
The guy from the Odyssey?
Not only was he a resident of Canada, had only lived in New York for a little bit, he's originally from England. So he's like
That's so weird.
Twice an immigrant. Old Judson never had to take 30 minutes to load and fire and reload a musket because as part of the volunteers, his duties included playing for the regimental band, working in the commissary department, and eventually working as chief clerk until the war ended in 1865. After the war ended, Judson returned to Canada where he gave consideration to a farming life, but his artistic ambitions pulled him away and decided to go into art headfirst, knowing full well, I'm probably not going to make any money from this.
And you don't want to go into a stained glass window headfirst, trust me.
No. Sometimes
like the elbow.
In 1868, he married Maria Bedford,
Maria Bamford?
Maria Bamford, do you know her? Maria Bedford, and began working in decorative arts like his dad, striping wagons and working in stained glass.
Wait, what do you mean striping wagon? Like putting a flame on the side of a horse-drawn wagon?
Yeah, I don't know if, it's either stripping wagons or striping wagons.
Imagine like they paint a wooden horse and buggy like the cars at Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah, that would be great.
And it has like Betty Boop as a skeleton on the side of it.
You paint flames on the horse and it thinks it's on fire. I mean, like the carriages were lined. They had like decorative paint on them.
I guess.
They did.
Yeah, okay. I mean, maybe the nice ones, not any ones I've seen.
Oh my God. Okay. He gets on one wooden stagecoach at a museum. All of a sudden he knows everything. In 1872, he left for New York where he studied portrait painting and returned to Ontario to open his own portrait studio. Soon after, he studied art in Paris for 3 years and returned to his family again in Canada. But from there began teaching, becoming a professor of art, the art department at Helmholtz College in Ontario. He and his wife Maria had 7 children together and then later added an orphaned nephew into their mix. But in 1885, Maria died suddenly, leaving him responsible for 8 children. And he's an artist.
I've seen this sitcom before.
It ends good.
My 8 Kids.
How I Met Your 8 Kids.
How I Died Your Mother.
3 years later, Judson heard about a happening in Chicago coming up in the year 1893. Not just a county fair.
Wait a minute.
Not just a state fair, but a World's Fair.
The H.H. Holmes Fair?
The H.H.
Is that the one?
Yeah, the 1893 Chicago's World's Fair, the Columbian Exposition. The very same that H.H. Holmes managed to lure people to his murder hotel and kill them.
Wow. And he did all these stained glass windows for some weird hotel in the south side of Chicago.
Yeah, he didn't see the whole plan of the building. He just knew.
He just at like 7 different windows he did.
He was told to leave all his equipment for cutting glass just lying around. But William Judson was not around for that. He auctioned off all his art to pay his way to Chicago in order to exhibit his work there. He arrived in 1890, 3 years before the fair, and in that time he worked painting portraits while he read, studied, and prepared for the fair.
Wow.
But all of his work in a cold climate wrecked his health. The fair went from May to the end of October, and in December of 1893, Judson's health could no longer be ignored.
Uh-oh, I think I see where this is going.
Yeah, you do. One day, while standing at a Chicago...
He was killed by H.H. Holmes.
Yeah. He just needed a room for a night, and he made the mistake of like, I have a lot of money.
Yeah, he made the mistake of carrying his most precious stained glass window, which was his life insurance policy.
One day, while standing at a Chicago train station, apparently with tickets to Florida in his hand,
oh no,
he started chatting with a man named George Wharton James, who happened to be a reporter for the Los Angeles Times.
Oh my God.
It was the man who convinced Judson to try California instead of Florida, with California with its healing warm climate that has cured many people in the history of the city.
Yeah. California's less weird. Try us. It's weird in a different way. Don't go to Florida.
It's kind of weird in a cute way.
Yeah, it's not like scary.
No.
Weird. There's less alligators. We just keep them in zoos.
We just have peacocks. And yeah, they're a little bit sexy. They'll yell at you. Yeah. He was 51 at the time, a frail-looking artist who had worked himself to the bone. He thought moving to California was a surrender, a place only to be buried at and little else. He left to Los Angeles with 2 of his daughters in tow, leaving behind the rest of the Judson clan to follow along later. He arrived in Los Angeles penniless and thinking he was dying. And then he saw the Arroyo Seco, the same area that Charles Lummis saw around the same time, and decided this is for him. Likewise, Judson fell in love with Los Angeles and the magical healing energy of the warm weather. This was not the place to come and die.
It was the place to come and live.
This would be the place.
He bought a pair of sunglasses.
He's dressed like Merlin and Sword in the Stone when he comes back from vacation.
I joined a cult.
There's a guy up in Spawn Ranch. He's got a lot of really good songs.
He's working for this band of boys from the beach.
So this would be the place where he would come and thrive. Not just him, but his descendants as well. William Leeds Judson would be the first of his line in Los Angeles. And like Lummis, Judson built his home in the idyllic area that is now Highland Park, in an area specifically referred to as Garvanza because of the garbanzo beans that grow there.
Wait, but they call it Garvanza?
Garvanza.
Okay. Like, is it like co-branded with Carvana or something? Carvanzo beans, but did he build his own house like Lummis did, like out of the rocks?
No.
Does he have a rock house? I want to know.
Yeah, I wasn't. No, he doesn't have a.
Was this house made to rock?
I think he had a stonework house. We'll get to that.
All right,
and I'm pretty sure he built that with some pals. He for sure designed it. His 2-story stonework house of his own design, I don't know if he built it, was built on a bluff overlooking the arroyo. He soon restarted his art career, switching from portraits to landscapes due to the beauty of Southern California. And after that, he was giving lessons both out of his home in Garvanza and at the Los Angeles School of Art and Design, which I could not figure out where that was.
School of Art and LAUSD?
I think that, I don't know if that was Otis before it was Otis.
Yeah, that place had a lot of different names.
Yeah.
And then it became what? Disney Presents Education or something? Disney Presents Your Overpriced Degree.
The slave labor camp that is Disney Studios. We were dying for a tour. And honestly, once he was here, he became a real son of the city. His landscape paintings depicted the arroyo through every season. He painted scenes from the mission days of California. He wrote out mission architecture for a local journal. He headed the Historical Society of Southern California for a time. In 1895, he became the head of the art department at USC.
Whoa.
That department eventually became the College of Fine Arts, and he was their first dean.
Wow. Where can we see his work? Like, where is this on display?
There's a lot of journal. I think Forest Lawn has some of his works, but I forget where, but he has his journals are collected somewhere.
I don't want to see his journals. I want to see his paintings.
His paintings, I think, are at Forest Lawn.
But his greatest work is at Forest Lawn, his tombstone.
Designed by H.H. Holmes. He didn't know it was a coffin when he got in it.
This is a weird bed.
Yeah. Why does it have a door? Oh, no. Back in Highland Park in 1901, he established a college of his own on Avenue 66 across from his house, which is pretty lazy / convenient. Art in Los Angeles at the turn of the century was flourishing, and it was in part thanks to the relentless efforts of William Leeds Judson. But he hit a speed bump in 1910 when the school burned down.
Oh, no.
Fire purifies all.
Should have built it out of stone. He should have listened to that little pig.
Nah. Bricks too heavy.
I'm too tired.
Yeah, I'm going to make it out of receipts.
Where's that old cotton mill?
It's said that while the building was still smoldering, plans for a new building not far from this one had already begun. And after that, USC moved the fine arts classes back to the campus in Exposition Park, where USC's bigger campus. And in 1920, Judson retired as dean, but continued to lecture and paint. He passed away in 1928 at the age of 86. For his memorial, his family commissioned a stained glass window to be made with the inscription, "A work of art is anything supremely well done."
Wait, okay, so far, has this been like paintings or is he doing stained glass?
He's trained in stained glass, but he's mostly doing paintings now.
Okay, so he's famous for paintings at this point. Or the name Judson is famous for paintings.
He's more like an art person. Like he's the dean of arts. He's writing about art. He's painting. Like he's just like a kind of art guru.
So he's most famous for wearing a beret.
Yeah. He has a smock. He listens to Dizzy. Take a step.
Dizzy Arnaz.
Yeah, Dizzy. Something explaining to do. Take a step back to 1897. Around the time William Lees Judson was working as a dean of the Fine Arts Department at USC, his sons decided to try their luck in Southern California. Leading the way was Walter Horace Judson, who himself was already working in stained glass when he arrived in Los Angeles. He had apprenticed at the age of 13, and from there went on to study at the Art Academy of Cincinnati. After being summoned by his father, what?
The Art Academy of Cincinnati?
Yeah.
That's...
what, in a strip mall? Between a Piggly Wiggly?
That's like, I'm going to go to the Department of Fluent Reading in Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. And my degree means nothing to you? After being summoned...
You had to mail in so many cereal box tops to get that degree. That was such a mean thing to say about Mississippi.
It kind of was, but...
Yeah, but hey...
Defenders of Mississippi, where are you?
Yeah, where are listeners in Mississippi?
Yeah, Mark Twain.
Then I'll apologize.
Oh, Samuel Clemens.
Yeah, all we have is this guy, Mark Twain. Who's he?
Never heard of him.
I know Sammy Clemens.
After being summoned by his father, Judson and 4 of his brothers headed west. In 1897, this Judson, Walter Horace, opened up the Colonial Art Glass Company located in Mont Alley, which was blocks away from La Plaza, the center of the city at the time. So this is the son, primarily been working in stained glass. Walter Horace. This company soon got a new name, W.H. Judson Art Glass Company. 2 of his partners in this endeavor were his younger brothers, Lionel and Paul. Soon Paul would leave, though. And in 1921, the brothers established Judson Studios and moved from downtown LA to the Arroyo Seco building their father had made while he was the dean of the College of Fine Arts.
This is weird. It's almost like 2 paths of art legacy going on.
I mean, and you think about it is 2 paths, but also William Lee's father and grandfather were also into art and decorative art. So it's already like, they're already 4 generations deep into art, but stained glass is going to take over everything now.
I've been saying that for years. The new modern, goodbye TikTok.
Yeah.
It's all stained glass.
Everything's going to be stained glass. That meme, stained glass.
You're going to need a triptych of 3 different Spider-Men on different panels. All pointing at each other.
It'll make sense when they're all up.
Yeah. Once this is mounted at the Vatican, this is going to make a lot of sense. It's going to be a really funny meme.
You're going to love it. Your kids are going to love it. So they move into the Arroyo Seco building, which...
Your altar boys are going to love it.
No comment. 200 South...
Why not?
200 South Avenue 66, right off of York Boulevard, where Highland Park blends into South Pasadena. This is the current home of Judson more than 100 years later.
Wow. Same building? Wow.
Same building, Craftsman Home. Under Walter's leadership, Judson Studios created some of LA's most iconic pieces of stained glass, which includes the globe chandelier in the rotunda of the Los Angeles Central Library, which Judson did in partnership with Bertram Goodhue and Lou Lowry.
That's a really nice piece.
It is. Anybody who takes a camera, which is everybody now, takes a picture of that.
Yes. If you go, you're required to take a picture of that if you go to the Central Library. If not, you got a fine.
You don't get a parking validation if you didn't take a picture. You have to prove that you took a picture. And you have to tag them too. William Lees also did a single panel stained glass window at the Memorial Branch Library, which is also LAPL.
Yeah.
Judson Studios created lead glass window pieces for both the Ennis House and the Hollyhock House, which were designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, and then the Judson Studios had cut all the glass and assembled it.
That's a collab. Step aside Oreos and what's the guy with all the tattoos?
Post Malone.
Post Malone.
I said Lady Gaga, and we would all know what you're talking about.
Who?
Who? What?
I'm really young. I only know Post Malone.
I know Pre Malone.
I don't. I know neonatal Malone.
They also did the domed skylight at the rotunda of the Natural History Museum, they were created by Judson.
When you brought up the thing at the Central Library, I was thinking of that at the Natural History because those look very similar. So that makes sense.
Yeah,
they're also incredible.
Yeah.
Like that's the best room in the Natural History Museum.
I agree. They did, the first Congregational Church in LA, the Hollywood First Methodist Episcopal Church. They did pieces at Forest Lawn, Glendale. They did pieces at Rose Hills Memorial Park in Whittier, Abbey San Encino, which is not in Encino, it's in Highland Park, the Chapel of the Bishop's School for Girls in La Jolla, and Grace Lutheran Church in San Diego, among many others. He was working on the windows of the St. James Episcopal Church on Wilshire Boulevard in September of 1934 when he passed away. It's said that Walter Horace Judson was one of the first, if not the first, artist on the West Coast to realize and utilize the beauty of antique glass.
Because I feel like this is LA's answer to the Tiffany Company.
Yeah, I agree.
On the East Coast.
I agree with you.
I wish they had done more lamps, like, more stuff for like people, but it sounds like they were more a public art thing.
We'll get to it, but they mostly did. I mean, they found that through the years, repeatedly, most of their work is for churches, which makes sense. But I mean,
I found that about myself too. This podcast is mostly listened to by pastors.
Yeah. No presenters. But the next
neonatal, please.
But the next,
I don't even know if neonatal is it neonatal or prenatal.
Prenatal.
I don't know. Neonatal might be a word.
Okay,
and you can quote me on that.
But the next Judson that would take the reins was not far away. Walter Horace's apprentice was his son, Horace Judson, who had been working under his father since he was a teenager and began to collect books on stained glass art at an early age.
I hate your son's name is your middle name.
Yeah.
Like it makes looking up history very confusing. I'm looking at you, Chandler's.
Chandler's and Sepulveda's did the same thing. His path was a little bit different than his forefathers, though. Horace attended law school from USC and was admitted to the bar in 1930. He specialized in probate and corporate reorganization and helped prepare the National Recovery Act code for the stained glass industry. So if you don't know, the National Industrial Recovery Act of 1933 attempted to regulate fair wages and prices in hopes of boosting the economy during the Great Depression. So every industry had to write codes of fair competition to submit that would put prices and wages into a fixed number. Horace Judson helped to write those codes for the stained glass field.
This was his art.
He had to assemble it, though. We had to solder it all together. When his father died in 1934, Horace left the law practice behind and joined his uncle Lionel in running Judson Studios. By this time,
Could he do art or like?
Yeah. I mean, like
was he just like on the legal side? Okay.
He had apprenticed, but I think that he was a little more business oriented from what I could tell. But that's my kind of artist. It seems like the presidents more manage the company and they have like a stable of artists who come in and do all the work.
Okay. So it's not just like Judson hand has touched each piece.
Yeah. The Judson hand has supervised this piece.
They have a rubber Judson hand that touches each thing.
It's like a stamp.
Some random workers made.
By this time, Judson Studios was already well known and respected. The stained glass art pieces they were creating weren't just decoration anymore. They were show-stopping pieces of art. They were the reason to drive to, let's say, Inglewood Park Mausoleum, where you can see 5 large windows created by Judson studio artist Lucy Lloyd, who created scenes of early Californian stained glass. They weren't decoration. You would go there to see these stained glasses. And then it happened to be at a mausoleum.
Now I want to. Yeah. Now I have a reason to go to the Inglewood Mausoleum. Finally.
Let's go right now.
Let's go.
Prove it.
Let's go at midnight. Okay.
During the war, there was less manpower and materials to go around. And while the company didn't outright die, it would depend on the end of the war to breathe life back into Judson.
Yeah. Glass. There's no glass.
There's no glass.
World War II.
No.
That's literally melted down into bullets.
The whole country, all the churches in California, they had trash bags over the windows.
The whole country looked like it had been abandoned. And that's what we wanted.
Yeah. And we had newspapers stacked up all over houses to keep from being bombed.
It's aluminum foil. Well, actually, we couldn't use the aluminum. They actually really
truthfully needed that. Horace went back to school and later, I think he went to Caltech and later took a job at Lockheed while his uncle Lionel kept Judson operations going, as limited as they were. While Lionel retired in 1945, 2 of his nephews jumped in the spot to help manage Judson with their uncle Horace or cousin Horace.
This family is not only big, but serious about the family business.
Yeah, I feel like they're at an early age are like, we're important.
Yeah, we are Judsons.
My son Horace.
And his 8 kids.
And then it's the scene from The Simpsons where Cletus calls all his kids out, and it's like 15 kids.
And they all kind of have the same name.
Horace had a preference for religious iconography and was well-rounded in understanding church architecture, symbolism and window design, and church history. He took most pride with his work that was for religious spaces, places like the Capitol Prayer Room in D.C., the upper level of the Air Force Academy Chapel in Colorado Springs, St. Paul's Episcopal Church in San Diego, and the First Congregational Church here in L.A. Through the 50s and 60s, Judson raked in a lot of clients from diverse fields, not just churches. They created works for private school chapels, motion studios, Edwards Air Force Base, St. Saviour's Chapel on the grounds of the Harvard Westlake Upper School here in Studio City. They created a stained glass window for a phone booth in the movie Funny Girl, and did private works for Hollywood folk like James Gardner, Robert Vaughn, and one night, John Barrymore at like 2 a.m. rolled up to Judson Studios drunk, hoping to check on the progress of the window they were making for his house in the Hollywood Hills or Sunset Strip.
That doesn't sound like a Barrymore.
A Barrymore?
A Barrymore, Greg. Drew's grandpa? No.
Lionel's son, I think.
Another family business.
The Barrymore legacy. Trouble came.
So they weren't just in LA. Like they were.
No, they did
were
work
all over
everywhere. But because they're based in LA, they've done a lot more for LA institutions. Trouble came in 1969 when the city tried to oust Judson Studios from the Craftsman home on Avenue 66.
Why?
They deemed this space to be a stained glass factory, and that did not belong in a residential area that was built after the house was built.
These NIMBYs.
The space had existed for
not in my not in my glass factory.
That's
a NIM.
That's it. Yeah. I was worried you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I got it good. The space had existed for nearly 50 years as a non-conforming use property, but zoning laws had changed at that time, and the time frame that allowed Judson Studios to exist as a non-conforming use property was about to expire. This put Judson Studios at risk because not only did they want to kick Judson and gang out, but they also wanted to demolish the house and replace it with apartments. Not just evicting one of the most historic and creative companies.
Which they also were against.
Yeah, exactly. Poor people.
Can they at least be too expensive for anyone to ever live in?
We'll just turn into art lofts. Huh? Everybody?
And everyone inside of them can, I don't know, make stained glass?
Like a factory of some sort.
A live-in factory.
But not just evicting one of the most historic and creative companies working, but to eradicate the grounds they worked on, to completely pull Judson's roots out of the ground that William Leeds Judson had planted the seeds of the future look of Los Angeles. Luckily, help would arrive in the form of the Cultural Heritage Commission, who full well knew the importance of this company. They managed to declare the studio a city historic cultural monument, which it is. They saved the studio, and it still stands to this day on Avenue 66. Soon after that, around 1975, Horace was done working in the studio and decided to start lecturing on stained glass instead. Horace was followed by his son, Walter W. Judson, another repeat name, who kept the rule his father had established: no more than 15 craftsmen at once in the studio. Walter said, yes, if we had more people in here working, we could make more money. But what's more important is Judson's reputation as skilled craftsmen creating immaculate pieces of art, and that cannot be sacrificed.
So what year is this? This is
75.
Okay. So modern day.
Yeah, it happened just yesterday. It's the Panorama City Mall just went up. And it'll never change.
They just got oxygen in Panorama City. Can you believe it?
Along with being the new president of Judson, Walter W. had graduated USC after majoring in English and minoring in history and political science, and went on to write a textbook, Stained Glass, a step-by-step guide for anybody wanting to get into the field. Under Walter W.'s leadership, Judson created one of the biggest projects that they had ever worked on, a 94-piece stained glass window to the Mary Queen of the Universe Catholic Church in Orlando, Florida.
Is this a ride at Universal?
Yeah. Did you not go on it? Yeah, it's got a ridiculous name.
Everything about that is crazy.
Hauling 94 pieces of stained glass. I guess they assembled it there. I don't know.
Yeah, but they still made it here.
Yeah.
It was the slowest train wrapped in bubble wrap.
Walter's older brother, Douglas, is not only an artist and craftsman, but an Episcopal priest, which kind of fits with his family's history as creators of art that primarily goes to religious spaces. Through the 70s, they found themselves creating works for commercial spaces and hotels, making large domes and vaulted ceilings for malls, banks, casinos, restaurants, office buildings, libraries, clubhouses, private residences, and convention centers. Their windows expanded outside the reaches of the U.S. and can be seen in London, Korea, Japan, Norway, and Vietnam.
Wow.
In 1995, Bill Judson returned to the Memorial Branch Library across from Mile High to create a stained glass window piece that tells the story of Los Angeles' history and the 4 generations of Judson family. Like I mentioned before, his great-grandfather had created a stained glass window for that library decades before, and he was there to like kind of return to offer a new piece to them.
If it wasn't a library, I would go in there and I'd love to see it.
I would love to hang out, but
unfortunately it's a library.
I have to do a shift if I go in. The Judsons worked on 8 windows for the First Presbyterian Church of Granada Hills on Zelza in the early 90s.
Wait a minute. Okay, on Zelza.
Between Devonshire and Chatsworth. There's like on a corner.
Okay, hang on. Let me think about this.
Zelza.
On Zelza.
Big white church.
Between Devonshire and
Chatsworth.
On Zelza. Isn't that where Granada High School is?
Oh, maybe. Oh, no. Yeah, it's closer to Devonshire than Chatsworth.
Devonshire than Chatsworth. On Zelza. A church on Devonshire?
Yeah.
And Chatsworth.
It's not on Devonshire.
It's close. Subway?
Oh. They created stained glass for Subway.
Oh, I know the church. It's right across from my high school that I don't go to anymore. I swear.
Why do you constantly do this? I haven't heard of it. Oh, it's right. Actually, I was born across the street from that.
Here's my strategy.
Deny.
Think
Revelation.
about it. Yeah. Epiphany.
Yeah, it's sudden revelation.
Okay, I know that church.
Okay.
Wow.
They did the stained glass there.
Wow. I must have kicked a few footballs out of the field right into that stained glass. So it must be ruined from all the field goals I kicked, right?
Yeah, the notorious Saffron has to stay away from Judson.
Yeah. Well, I actually made it. It's even more historic because a Saffron football was kicked through.
This touched his foot. He for sure didn't use a t-shirt cannon to shoot this. And from what I can tell, and it's so confusing because there was not a family tree on the internet, Bill's brother is David Judson, who is currently running Judson Studios as a 5th generation Judson.
5th generation. That's crazy.
In 2015, David opened a second Judson Studios facility, but rough times were ahead.
Oh, no.
Judson Studios survived 2 world wars, the Great Depression, the Great Recession of 2008, and after all that was almost completely killed by the COVID outbreak of 2020.
Well, we need glass.
Come
we needed
on.
more glass than ever during COVID.
Because we're going to church so much.
All of the barriers at grocery stores should have been made out of Judson stained glass.
Yeah, priceless stained glass.
Yeah, with people people coughing.
Reminders to wash your hands.
Yeah, and then people with masks under their noses.
Yeah, exactly.
And
white dudes outside of stores. I don't have to put a mask on.
Yeah, a guy using a cut in half plastic cup over his nose, which I once saw someone do.
That was the stupidest time of your life. Judson had to lay off 23 craftsmen to keep them safe and allow them to collect unemployment. But as of 2025, the incredible artistic space still endures after 129 years in Los Angeles. Beyond an artist space, Judson Studios is a respected institution. There's now a book out, Judson Innovation in Stained Glass, that David Judson wrote, which is a stunning coffee table book. It's highly recommended for if you want to see pictures of all the stuff I've been talking about. Get that book.
I'm going to the mausoleum.
I got to go to the mausoleum in Inglewood. They're still creating landmark works in stained glass, just like generations before them. And most of the work they are commissioned to make is still for churches and other religious spaces.
Make me a lamp already. I don't want to go to church.
I don't want to go to the Hollyhock House. In 2012, they created a work that was 25 feet high and 13 feet across for Our Savior Parish at USC's Caruso Catholic Center. And in 2016, they created a wall of glass that was 100 feet wide and 40 feet tall for Kansas City's Church of the Resurrection. We, as representatives of our city, cannot wait to see what future generations of Judsons will do ahead.
Cut to January 2nd, Judson Studios closed forever.
Closed down. Thanks to Allie Meekley bringing it up.
They got too popular. They couldn't keep up.
HMS Bounty and Judson Studios closed.
Yeah, can you believe it? That Panorama City was wiped off the map because Allie Meekley brought them up. Is this the oldest business, like continuously running business in Los Angeles?
It wasn't mentioned, but damn, it might be.
That's pretty old for Los Angeles.
I mean,
certainly, I'm going to say it's probably the oldest business still run by the same family. In Los Angeles.
I have a suspicion that it's the oldest family-run business by a single family.
Because both of mine, yours is 5th generation. Both of mine only go so far as 3rd generation.
Oh wow! I mean, William Lee's wasn't working for Judson Studios.
So it'd have to
be, it'd have to be it's Walter Horace, which is 20s. It's almost 100 years old.
It's not that old. Close it down.
Yeah,
wrap it up.
Shut it down.
I was telling you that there's a place in Little Tahunga Village over here.
You were?
That's like I knew it wasn't Judson Studios, but I always just thought Judson Studios over there. It's like a little mini stained glass company.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's like hot dog place, clothing store, stained glass studio, makeup store. Like it's just like a little place, and they do this like festival once a year, and they were open and you could go in, and I saw they have a big stained glass Charlie Chaplin in the window, but like they just I think they just do commissions for like whoever wants a stained glass
That's
thing.
great.
Yeah, you should go there.
If they have classes, I'd love to take one.
No, they don't. They told me. They said not for you.
Yeah, that's whatever that meant.
Yeah. And they like really narrowed their eyes when they said that.
Yeah. And they like, Greg Gonzalez. Greg Gonzalez.
They did air quotes.
Yeah. Greg Gonzalez.
And then said Soto Voce, Greg Gonzalez.
If anyone interested in getting into stained glass, there's a stained glass supply store in Pasadena. I think it's called Stained Glass Supplies. It has classes, but also has all the materials you need if you want to get started.
They also said not for you, though.
Yeah. We're allowed one Greg. Yeah. And the other Greg Gonzalez isn't there.
So we've talked about looking out the window, what we see when we look out the windows of church.
Yes.
We talked about where we go when we have been in church a little too long.
Yes, we did. We have.
Now we're talking about where we go after church.
My grandma's house. Let's go right now. I actually forgot what you were talking about until just a moment ago.
Well, the appeal of this place, Castro wide net of fans.
God.
Only a real Baba loser doesn't like them.
Okay.
I think you might remember what I'm talking about. The two things about Cuba I know that aren't Porto.
Your shiny head reminds me of a cue ball.
That big cigar you're smoking makes me want to
Buena Vista Social Club. That makes me want a Buena Vista Social Club.
So it's now time to talk about a place I've always had contrarian opinions about that we'll revisit at the end of this story.
Monster. Yeah.
Porto's Bakery.
Yep.
Porto's.
Anybody who doesn't like Porto's is a bad person.
They're anti-American.
They're
pro-Cuban. Our story begins on the island of Cuba in the town of Manzanillo, where lived a married couple named Rosa and Raul Porto.
Okay.
This sounds like a joke, but Rosa worked as a manager at a cigar warehouse, and Raul worked in a cigar warehouse.
Oh, okay.
They were both. I mean,
they're going out. They're popular.
They're
not popular.
It's what we know about them for a reason, okay? They make good cigars. Things were going fine, and then in 1959, Fidel Castro hit, and cigars were melted down into even bigger cigars for Castro. Castro took control of the country, and as part of his consolidation of power and transformation into his form of communism, Rosa was fired from her job.
Okay.
Raul was fired from his job as well, but he one-upped her. He was also sent to one of Castro's forced labor camps.
Wow, really?
So
bad.
Now at a loss of income in a time of scary uncertainty and with their young daughter Beatriz to care for, Rosa had to figure out a new path, so she thought back to her past. When she was young, her dad died very early, so she and her mom went to live with an aunt who was always baking something.
Okay.
Some of these skills had been passed on to Rosa, so she figured when life gives you commies, you make some cookies. You've heard that, right?
Yeah, I have a bumper sticker that says that.
The first opportunity came in 1960 when a neighbor needed a wedding cake made. So she said that if he paid her, she'd give him a wedding cake. Okay. That's how it works. That's how communism works, right? So her first commercially made cake was this wedding cake that was either guava or custard. She couldn't remember later on. Word spread about how good this cake was. By the way, nothing about anything we've ever talked about before has made me want cake more than talking about Rosa Porto making cakes in Cuba. Like, I've never wanted a cake more in my life.
Yeah.
So word spread about how good this cake was. So other people in town started commissioning Rosa to make cakes for them. So now her home was turned into a makeshift cake bakery.
Wow.
The problem was, in communist Cuba, this was a big no-no. Private enterprise like this was not allowed.
Oh, boy.
So all this had to be done in secret. People would pay for orders. She'd make them at home, and they'd be slipped a cake without anyone any the wiser.
Wow.
It's my favorite
secret cake.
That is my favorite black market. Like if this is what the Silk Road was, or Silk Pie, French Silk Pie Road.
Funny.
As her reputation grew, her customer base grew, and her customer base grew. She started.
That's how it works.
And don't get me started on their waistlines as well. She started getting requests for more things than just cakes, so she expanded into savory pastries as well. But as Castro's vision became more and more realized, the day-to-day life of the average Cuban got worse and worse. Supplies became scarce, so instead of money, Rosa would be paid by the barter system.
Okay.
People would have to bring her ingredients like sugar or flour, and as payment, she'd be given chicken or beans for making them a cake.
Okay.
But as Cuba sunk deeper and deeper into a dictatorship, that could never happen here. Things got even harder than just getting supplies to make cakes, which that's the first sign of a dictatorship.
Yeah. That's the canary in the coal mine.
She made a beautiful cake that looked like that. It was on Halloween Wars. It was great. So neighborhood anti-subversion committees started to arise, which were basically neighborhood watch bootlickers that would rat out their fellow suffering neighbors to the authorities in the hopes of favorable treatment from Castro's whatevers. Oh, please, Mr. Castro, can I have one puff of your cigar? This meant she had to be careful who she got into business with, and also she had to be careful of routine inspections.
Oh, right.
Secret police would randomly raid houses around Cuba to see what sort of contraband or illegal activities were going on in there. But when you bake cakes for people, people tend to like you for baking cakes for them.
It's true.
So whenever anyone in Rosa's network of happy customers got wind of one of these raids coming, they'd tip her off, and then a team of neighbors would help her move all of her baking equipment out of the house so that they wouldn't get caught.
Wow.
So that's the power of baked goods.
And you're going to say, after all that, you're going to say you don't like Portos?
And after all that, you're going to say you prefer pie. And the penalty, if you did get caught doing something like this, was jail time or forced labor, where there was a good chance you were not going to make it out alive. Yeah. Luckily, her husband Raul was able to get out of one of these forced labor camps, but her own brother was not so lucky, and he died in a forced labor camp.
Awful.
This was when they knew that they had to leave the only home they knew and get out of Cuba, which they applied to do in 1962. They didn't actually get to leave for another 9 years.
Oh my God.
And once you made it known
it wasn't a decade.
That's Castro's promise.
Yeah.
If you want to leave, you'll be out within a decade. One way or another. There's always his way out. And once you made it known that you wanted to leave, life got even worse for you in Cuba, because you were viewed as a traitor now, and you were treated as a traitor. They would take away your job, and they would often take away your stuff. So they would even come to your house to take a full inventory of everything you owned to make sure you didn't take any of that with you when you left the country. Communism. And this is why we can't elect Joe Biden again.
You want Joe Biden in your house looking at all your stuff? Counting your birthday candles?
You don't have to bake cakes for Joe Biden or whatever you're saying. So they had to endure this for 9 years until 1971, when they were finally chosen to be a part of the Freedom Flights.
Okay.
This was a joint program between the U.S. and Cuba between 1965 and 73, where people who were not men of military age and had families already in the U.S. were flown out of Cuba for good.
Wow.
Like if you wanted to leave, you can go as long as you don't have freedom flights.
Okay.
This was done through Pan Am, who was flying 2 flights a day, 5 days a week, bringing Cubans to Miami, which is why there's so many Cuban people in Miami. In all, almost 300,000 Cubans were brought to the U.S. through this program. So it might seem weird that Castro would allow this, seeing as how much people later would have to endure to leave Cuba.
Yeah.
But he actually welcomed this because all the people leaving were people who were opposed to him.
Sure.
So he wanted the dissidents and anybody who disagreed with him.
We don't have enough bullets to kill all of you, so just go.
We do have enough Pan Am flights. So
we have miles saved up.
So Castro had so many miles from flying from Argentina and back. So the people who wouldn't go along with that, with what he wanted, or who he couldn't control, these were the people who were leaving.
Okay.
It took until 1973, and I don't mean to be offensive with this, but it took until 1973 before he realized that all the people leaving were the smart people. Like the people, the educated class who saw through what he was doing, and in a free country should have had more options.
Yes.
These were the people leaving. So once it became clear that Cuba was losing its highly skilled professionals, he ended this program.
Okay.
But luckily the Portos got out before he did. However, Miami felt it was getting too full of Cubans. So instead they were sent to where Raul had some family already, Los Angeles.
Hey.
They settled into a place in Echo Park, which at the time had a big Cuban population.
Okay.
Raul got himself a job, oddly enough, at the Van de Kamp Bakery as a janitor, and Rosa applied to be a cake decorator for them, but she didn't get hired.
What?
but she didn't really care because she wanted to bake her own cakes and wanted to do that for a living. And guess what? She already had a built-in customer base. Many Cubans living in LA already knew her from her cakes, or at least had heard of her cakes.
Yeah.
And literally from the moment she landed in LA, someone came up to her in LAX and asked her if she was going to bake cakes.
Can you do one right now? I saw a kitchen.
There's eggs everywhere in this country. I'll give you a chicken right now. So she did. She started baking cakes for people. She set up a new operation in their home in Echo Park, and the orders started coming in. Raul wanted her to get an actual job somewhere, but she would purposely tank the interviews she'd go on so that she could keep baking. And eventually she was bringing in enough money that Raul stopped pestering her about getting a real job.
Yeah.
She started doing so much business that they used to have to put tablecloths on the beds of their kid Beatrice, and the other two, they had Margarita and Raul Jr. on their bed. So they turned their beds into like countertop space. So the kids couldn't go to sleep until the cakes were all done.
Incentive.
You have to finish all your cake before you go to bed, Mom. So this operation was untenable, and she needed an actual storefront for this.
Yeah.
So in 1976, they took out a $5,000 loan and opened up the very first official Porto's bakery in Echo Park at Sunset and Silver Lake. Did you know that that's where the first one was?
I did not know
Sunset
that.
and Silver Lake. It was 300 square feet in a strip mall and originally only focused on bread, but to appeal to the demographic of the neighborhood, started adding in things like conchas and donuts. That's a gringo concha for our Latino listeners. Initially, they were only getting about 50 customers a day, which for how small their operation was still pretty good. But as the demographic of the neighborhood started changing, the area became a lot less Cuban. As the Cuban people who came here got more money and more established, many of them left LA, many to go to Miami where they could be with the other family that had fled Cuba, they got separated from. Taking their place in the late 70s were Filipino people and Salvadoran people, as well as the Mexican and white people already there. So smartly sensing this shift, Rosa started baking more things that appealed to their taste as well. And what she realized that as her offerings became more diverse, so did her clientele. And that meant more business.
Sure.
So and yes, it's a Cuban bakery, but kind of most of the stuff isn't Cuban.
Okay.
It's just appealing to Los Angeles taste.
Sure. Because the melting pot, you have to kind of appeal to everybody.
They do sell melting pot, though, which is a Cuban dish.
Yeah. It's mostly cheese.
It's cheese and pork. It's kind of a standard thing. Slowly, her shop became known for things that appeal to all these groups like chicken empanadas, meringue cakes, meat pies, ham croquettes, and then a couple things that were Cuban inspired, but really her own creation that they became most famous for: potato balls filled with meat and guava and cheese hand pies, which she called refugiados or refugees as a nod to her personal backstory. Pretty cool. That right there makes me like, all right, they're not so bad. They're not so bad. These refugees, they're okay in my book. This operation started getting bigger and bigger, and it was getting harder for just one woman to keep up with. Raul left Vandekamp so that he could work at Porto's during the day, and then as an auto mechanic at night before eventually the business was doing well enough that he was able to help her full-time at the bakery. Then they also had Beatrice working there after school, as well as their other two kids once they got a little older. They also brought in a guy whose family knew the Portos in Cuba named Antonio Salazar in 1977, who was sort of the consigliere of Porto's that helped guide them in their transition to a broader menu and also in the growth that was about to begin the next year in 1978 when they left the Echo Park location for Brand Boulevard in Glendale.
The big one.
Not yet. They moved to, I don't know what
really?
it was on Brand Boulevard, and then they moved two more times into successively bigger locations until finally they settled into what is now their oldest location at 315 North Brand Boulevard in Glendale.
I think it shares a wall with Damon's.
Who's Damon?
Damon's is a tiki bar. Or not a tiki bar. It's like a Polynesian restaurant that has a really good...
They should make it more Cuban, I think.
Ask them.
Yeah, that's the wrong ocean. This place was bigger than anything they had before. It was a former department store, so it even had a little upstairs dining patio. I mean, it wasn't a dining patio for the department store, but they turned it into
I thought it was. Okay.
It's the mullet of businesses. Department store on the bottom, dining patio up top. It's the bowl cut of businesses. As the 80s and 90s went on, their reputation grew around the city, and people would come from all over, which is why there was always a line. This was also the era when the second generation of Porto started getting more involved in the actual running of the business. Beatriz, Raul Jr., and Margarita stepped into managerial roles as Rosa and Raul Sr. started to get older and step back more. This was the era of bureaucratization and expansion that usually kills a place like this, but somehow it didn't.
Wow.
To deal with the constant crowds, the kids streamlined operations and created departments. They hired managers and consultants. They put in greeters at the front door that would guide people to which line they wanted to go to. Desserts here, hot food over there, orange juice over there.
Yeah.
If you think it's overrated, go over there. They point at the trash can and gave them walkie-talkies to communicate with the kitchen to prepare them for what was coming in. And most importantly, expansion. They expanded it, but where to? They started asking people in the restaurant what part of town they were coming from, and being in Glendale, the majority of them said Burbank. So in 2005, they opened up their second location at Magnolia and Hollywood Way, which immediately became just as packed as the Glendale
it's
one.
crazy.
They even had to buy the building next door just so they could get possession of their parking spaces.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
But now they had the Valley. Glendale's the Valley, of course. Everyone agrees on this. Pretty well covered. They had the Valley, Glendale, which is part of the Valley, pretty well covered.
You're pretty
Everyone
crazy.
agrees.
That's crazy that you think that.
So they decided to service a different part of town now. And in 2008, opened their third location in Downey, which with this one, they had a little more space and money. So they built an entire parking garage just for themselves.
And it's big. That
I've never been to that one.
It's a big.
They're all pretty big.
Sure. Yeah. That one, I mean, it always had a long line, but there's something about it that just feels more spacious.
I still go to the one in Echo Park, the 300 square foot one, and I just stand there and wait.
Yeah. I know that it's like a gross bar now or whatever. I don't even know what corner. It must be that hamburger place on the corner.
I looked it up.
Yeah.
I looked up that intersection and I wasn't familiar with it at all.
I know it. Except for like bars right there, I think.
My old stomping grounds. Then to test out new recipes and dishes, they opened up a dedicated test kitchen in Commerce that comes up with everything the stores sold.
Okay.
But still, there was and is always a line at Porto's. In 2017, they were selling 600,000 potato balls and 1.5 million cheese rolls a month.
Wow.
That translated to 30,000 pounds of butter and 60,000 pounds of flour each week, which translated to 3,000 pounds of dough an hour.
Oh my God, that's what you eat.
I had to barter so many chickens for this order. That meant they needed to expand even further.
Yeah.
In 2017, they ventured into the dark reaches of Orange County and opened up their Buena Park location, then West Covina in 2019, and their newest location in 2022, Northridge. That is until they finally opened their next location at downtown Disney, which should be coming in the next few months. They've been working on this for a while. That's kind of a big deal because like a lot of people now come from other parts of the country, and that kind of, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, there's a cross section.
Like I don't have to go to Glendale now.
You don't have to go. You're lucky to go to Glendale.
I'm so lucky to go to West Covina.
You're lucky to go to West Covina.
West Covina's lucky to go to me. West Covina fell on me or landed on me.
Well, either way,
I'm hurt. Take me to the doctor.
Larry H. Parker's going to come and help me.
Did Plymouth Rock land on you? Hi, I'm Larry H. Parker. All this to keep up with the demand that has proven to be there. They found that with each new location they open, it results in a 7% reduction in crowd size at all the other locations.
Wow.
So they make sure to only expand when the data shows that their existing locations are getting too busy to keep up.
Okay.
So that's when they know it's time to open another one.
Okay. They seem to exist with the same policy that Freeways and LAX has, where by the time they have a new one open, the problems of the other ones has grown, and it alleviates like 7%.
But that is interesting because now that there is more locations open, because we went to Porto's, to get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
During the research to this, I said, all right, I'll go to this overrated place.
Yeah. You cannot see me roll my eyes, but I'm rolling my eyes the entire time he's talking. Don't worry.
I hadn't been in a Porto's for a while. Mm-hmm. And it was noticeably less busy. Like it's still busy and it's obviously still popular. Yeah. But because there's so many other locations, it felt 7% less busy. Like it did feel like, oh, this isn't so bad anymore.
The Glendale one is kind of crazy.
I think that one's crazier than the Burbank one.
Yeah, the Burbank one.
It's still pretty crazy.
Yeah. I feel like that line kind of moves though.
What's worse is the line to try to get into their parking lot, which you should never try to do.
Just find another place to park.
Just fly there.
Take a
fly
walk,
into the Burbank airport.
Drop from a plane into it. Parachute down.
So they did buy an airport so that they bought the Burbank airport. So this is how they have prevented spreading themselves too thin like so many others have. They're really analytical about this. They have over 1,000 employees, and they even use software to predict the volume of sales they'll be doing in 30-minute intervals.
Wow.
So they know how much staff they're going to need where during what times.
That's a lot of data.
But one of the biggest parts of the appeal of Portos, especially nowadays, is their prices. They are shockingly affordable still in a time when not even Carl's Jr. is worth it anymore.
Nope.
So the key to that is two things. The first is that they own all their properties, so they aren't being gouged by landlords, so you can rest easy that they won't be going anywhere anytime soon, barring a total collapse of America, so they'll probably be gone soon.
Yeah.
The second is that their business is what keeps them affordable. Like the long lines is what keeps them affordable. Since they operate in such volumes, they are able to buy their supplies in huge bulk amounts, which lets them get good deals from the suppliers, even more so as they expand more and become a more and more desirable client to have. So if the terms become unfavorable to them, there's 100 other suppliers out there waiting to land Portos as a client. And they do this because they want to keep the prices low. Like that's important to them. They know who their biggest customers are, and it's 9 to 5 paycheck to paycheck people bringing Portos to the staff party. It's middle and lower income families getting food for a gathering. This is the bulk of Porto's business. These are people whose business they would lose if their prices were higher.
Absolutely.
In 2016, Yelp named them the best restaurant in the country based on positive reviews. And in 2021, they were named the best bakery in the Southland by the LA Times. Bon Appetit also once named them one of the top 10 bakeries in the world, which is good because they now ship nationwide.
About time.
Finally. Now I can finally get it when I'm in Kansas and I get homesick for Portos. All this without ever spending a dime on advertising. All their success came from word of mouth from their underground beginnings in Cuba. Like even back then, neighbors talking about, oh, Rosa can make you a cake if you got enough chickens.
If you can find a couple eggs, she'll make you a cake.
And that's why that weird phrase, oh yeah, you can get plenty of Portos if you have enough chickens. we always wondered what that meant. Now we know.
I just assumed that
I just took it for granted. I say that all the time. It's
just a turn of phrase now. It's a regular American idiom.
It was a Shakespeare thing originally. When you see one of those boxes at work or at a party, you know exactly what's in there. Like the box is the advertising, really. Rosa passed away in 2019, and we lost Raul Sr. pretty recently in 2024, but the enterprise is being run by their kids, like I mentioned, and their kids are now preparing to take the reins someday soon. So this is a third generation run business, which only 12% of businesses make it to.
Wow.
That number drops down to 5% if they can get to the fourth generation, when they'll officially be rebooted as Portos, the next generation. Okay, so let's talk about our thoughts on Portos, because I have gone on record saying I think they're overrated.
Wrong. You've been wrong before,
You are a staunch supporter of Portos.
I'm a 9 to 5 paycheck to paycheck worker, average man. It wasn't like a thing growing up. It hit me late in life, the Portos thing. It wasn't like at every family party. But once it established itself, so it must be like one person brought like meat pies and potato balls by one day, and then like every family gathering.
The first box is always free.
It's free, and then after that, you got to wait in a 45-minute line. I like it a lot, and it took me a while before I ventured even into the sandwiches they have. But now I'm a big fan of the sandwiches. They had they have a virgin mojito there that I used to when I was I
don't like that.
I don't care for that.
Overrated.
Gross. But I like them a lot. I think they make great pastries. I think they make great sandwiches.
So we ate there like a week or so ago as research.
Yes.
We'll deduct it from the petty cash, Porto cash. I work in a government setting, and whenever there are city workers that have a staff party, if there isn't Portos, I will give you $1,000. Like there is always Portos at whatever party in Los Angeles for city workers. It's affordable and you could get a lot of it to bring to people. What I got when we went there last, they had a chicken plate. It was like chicken and beans and rice and plantains. It was really good. Like their sandwich, here's where I've landed on Portos. I'm wrong. Of course they're good. They're good. But I think that they have a lot of misses on the menu. And I'm not talking about Mrs. Porto. they have some really good things, but I have also tried things there that are not good.
I mean, that's any menu.
Yeah, but like for a place that's so famous for baked goods, I've had some bad baked goods. I think that they're
bad or not your taste.
Bad.
Okay.
Because my taste is is king. I will call out their cheesecake. I think is really bad. I think I had their tres leches cake. I think that's really bad. But I've also had fruit tarts there that are really good. But here's where it sets it apart is that their prices are so reasonable. It's the In-N-Out effect. We're like, is In-N-Out good? Yes, it is good.
Yeah.
But it's so affordable, it's even better.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's so good.
Within its price range, it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's no question about that. But I think that there's really good stuff on the menu, and I think there's really bad stuff on the menu.
The really good stuff is
really good.
It's really good. And you like, if I never had a potato ball again, I'd be really sad. I would think about it. Like if we entered Mad Max Wasteland stuff, and that would be the thing.
Potato balls or gasoline.
Exactly. Yeah. I would sit. People like, do you remember the internet? Do you remember going to school? I'm like, do you remember potato balls from Porto's? You can get like 6 of them for like $2. Like it was so.
If only
good.
It was that cheap.
I don't know.
It is real. Like if you don't want to spend too much money, and you're like, where do you want to go get lunch somewhere? Like it's the perfect place. I think you have to just be thoughtful and selective about what you get there, because I think some of the stuff sucks.
Is bad, or you don't like it?
No, sucks.
Sucks. It's bad.
Sucks is bad. My word is king. My word is the law of the land.
I mean, it's affordable enough for you to even be able to try a lot of stuff.
That's also important.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
I would love, like, when we went there, we walked by the full length of the bakery counter, like, oh my God, I want that.
Yeah.
There's so many things that look so good, and I will try them, and I will report back. So I will have a good and bad. I don't know anymore.
I don't know.
I guess was Cuba that bad? That's still where I stand. I say it's a little overrated in the same way people say In-N-Out is a little overrated. Sure, it is a little overrated, but it's still good. It's still really affordable, and it's still an important place, I think.
I think
the owners of Porto's are much better people than the owners of In-N-Out, though.
I'm shaking my head in agreement with you. I'm nodding my head. I mean,
that actually, I don't know. Maybe the new generation is kind of weird. Who knows?
In-N-Out being overrated is only because people think that it's more than just like they think it's a gourmet hamburger.
Built up.
Yeah, it's built up.
And I fear that with it being at downtown Disney, people are going to be coming from Oklahoma or whatever, like, oh, gee golly, a refugiato. And they're going to try it and be like, what the hell's guava? Like I feel like it will let people down, but like,
that's how
lower your expectations.
Yeah, exactly. Lower your expectations.
You're from Oklahoma.
You're lucky to be eating right
now.
How
could they be this high? Well, that's some family-run businesses in Los Angeles.
Institutions of Los Angeles.
And hey, only 2 of the places you have to pay to use that we've talked about.
One of them you just walk right in if it's open and it's not part of a construction site.
Yeah, imagine the day that they start charging to use an Andy Gump. My God.
50 cents for 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes, the door just opens in front of everybody.
That's because this is how it is in Europe. You have to pay, or at least in France, you have to pay for public bathrooms. And then a lot of them are the self-cleaning ones. So they literally, like, when they deem you're done, the whole thing is flooded with water.
Whoa, really?
It's like a sealed room. So like when you walk in there, the floors are all wet because they just dumped water everywhere.
Oh my God, do they think everyone's Houdini?
Try escaping this. But yeah, go to Porto's. Go to
church.
If you're building a church, go to church. Go to Porto's. Really, this is a full day for you. This is a nice Sunday for you. Go to church. Go to Porto's. Go to the Andy Gump Outback.
Hey, a stick to Colorado. You can get around pretty fast. Getting from Judson to Porto's and Glendale. You got it.
So before we have our listener question, we have our pre-listener question. A plug.
Potato balls.
Guava. Liquefy everything in the pastry counter at Porto's, and I'm drinking it.
They'll make a smoothie out of anything.
You can bring whatever you want. They'll smoothie it. So let's plug the old Patreon again. Hey. Patreon.com/LA Meekly for as little as $5 a month. As we said, we'll send you a handwritten postcard.
Sure will.
Any level you join at, you will get a sticker. An official LA Meekly. You could put it on a Porto's pastry if you want. What do I care? It's the perfect size for a potato ball.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/LA Meekly.
I love
Seriously.
It. Seriously.
So now it's our listener question.
Yeah.
This one is from Chris Myers.
Hi, Chris Myers.
Hey, Chris. 2 questions. He snuck in 2.
Whoa.
I know. It's a little unorthodox.
Okay.
He should probably go to one of those churches that the Judson stuff.
This is confession.
So unorthodox. So, do you miss doing the intros? Second part, have you ever revisited a story? One of the old ones I listened to was about some places that were in flux, the Houdini Mansion and the Chinese place with the long history. Also, the corruption cases in Bell and Vernon might have new info, just a thought. So first off, the intros, of course, which we'll focus on mostly. Greg is weeping. He's begging. He's pulling at my shirt sleeves, at my pant legs right now.
I wrote the script for you to read.
Please let me do a voice again. Please, I want to be an old lady in a jewelry store. One more time, please.
What is she thinking? And then Daniel could be like, okay, what does she say now? Okay, what does she say now? All right, what does she say now? I do miss them. I miss joking with you. That was a lot of stupidity that we would have together.
I miss those were both fun and torturous to write. Like when they were easy, they were really fun. They could get torturous. They could get very torturous. And we would sit there literally for like 4 or 5 hours doing it.
Yeah, and it would be the stupidest thing.
Yeah. What's funnier, blueberry or boysenberry?
It would
for
be
45 minutes.
We need a pun about trains but mustard. And it
has to rhyme with guava.
Yeah, and then we'd be pulling at it, and then it would be some like we talked about this before, but we would get so spaced out that it became the answer became an in-joke that we came up with in the writing that didn't make any sense.
Yeah. And we still kept it in.
And then we even so we used to do it before we recorded, which was so stupid. But then we separated it and it was just as bad because now I have to leave work and then come here and be like, okay, what do they say?
I mean, at the end of the day, in a perfect world, yes, I do miss doing them, but we do not have the time. That's why we stopped doing it. There just was not time anymore to do it, and people hated them.
And also, no one ever brought them up ever.
But the people who liked them.
That's great.
Like Chris Myers.
He didn't say he liked them. Careful.
Oh, yeah. Wait, there was more to the question. Do you miss doing the intros? Because I don't.
Because I don't miss listening to them.
I miss exercising that muscle.
Yeah,
because it was really fun. And when they worked, I think they were pretty funny. I think there were some really, and even the ones that didn't work, I think there were really funny parts in most of them.
Even the worst ones has one line in it that is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I miss joking around with you. If we got paid as comedy writers, I would love it. But doing it for free after an 8-hour shift when I'm exhausted and I don't want to break apart what's funny about Woodrow Wilson. I won't.
That's an easy break, Greg.
It's kind of asking a lot.
Yeah. So I miss them. I miss recording them. Yeah. I miss the easy parts. I miss the fun parts. Yeah. But they were hard to do.
Yeah, they were
really hard to do. So in the end, I guess no.
They were so hard. They were too hard to have no feedback about.
Too hard to handle.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the point. That is a key point. Too hard because
we would work so hard on them.
And maybe every once in a while someone would say, hey, that was really funny.
Yeah.
Actually, that's how Carl Tart found us. He thought one of the ones we did was funny. But more often than not, the feedback we got was, these are really unfunny and I hate it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a bummer.
Yeah. To know that I could have been sleeping. I could have been doing this, but we were trying to figure out what's funny about long dogs.
Again,
and it was
Greg,
for
you're
no
picking
one.
the easiest parts to break down.
It's actually it's strange knowing that we have a lot of younger listeners than I ever predicted because I'm like, oh yeah, a 12-year-old would find that funny. And I I don't mind that at all. Yeah.
And that's what we wanted. That's what we were trying to create by doing those to begin with is Pee-wee's Playhouse or something like that.
Yeah.
That kids would find kids and adults or adults who are kids like us.
And
weird people
weird
would find.
Kids and adults who can't grow up.
And in that sense, we are the biggest success story in Los Angeles. But now the second part of the question, any stories we would want to revisit. Could you think of anything?
I mean, not off the top of my head, really. The Bell Vernon thing I want to look into now that you brought it up. I was listening to last podcast did a 5-part or 4-part series on Black Dahlia.
But they cracked it now.
Oh, they cracked the case. I know the guy, the Zodiac.
They used AI. Greg, AI did it. It was AI all along.
He cut her in half. Or she. AI is not gendered, but if it killed a girl, it's probably a guy. They talked about Aggie Underwood a lot, and it made me want to I want to do a better job of talking about Aggie.
I thought about that. Maybe there's some topics from earlier on. I could have delved deeper into J. Paul Getty or whatever, but that's not quite. I think what he's asking is
with updates.
Yeah. Weekend updates. But the ones I was looking through every topic we've done.
Yeah.
There's there's a few crime updates, the Menendez brothers had some more stuff, Sirhan, but all of that is just kind of and then they applied for parole again and were denied.
Yeah. Attack on.
Yeah, there's kind of nothing more that has been discovered.
Yeah.
maybe an update on how LACMA's doing, because we did that before, like all of the demolishment and all the drama behind that.
Yeah.
Most of the updates, though, I think don't end well. You know, like, oh, how's this business doing? Oh, they tore it down, and now it's a Chick-fil-A now.
Yeah, and like now that like something like Pacific Dining Car is closed. I don't think we ever covered that, but like,
yeah, that's what, because we did that at risk places during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
We did Old Town Music Hall, Pacific Dining Car, Bob Baker, and Romans. Pacific Dining Car's gone. Old Town Music Hall somehow is still there.
Yeah.
Bob Baker luckily found a new home. Romans, I think they're kind of like they're up for sale. They're doing, but I think they might be for sale. I don't know. But like,
yeah, you're right. Going back to talk about Pacific Dining Car closing feels like such a sad way to end that.
Yeah, I'd rather not know the ending to some of these stories.
I'd rather you look up online and the place that you're trying to visit when you're coming to LA is actually closed for 10 years.
If we were going to redo anything at the end of each episode we've done in the past, I'll end. Don't Google any further.
Leave the story here.
Yeah, it ends here.
Yeah.
But I mean, most things we've done have kind of been definitive stories in the past that there's kind of like, that's it. Like, there's no new chapter in this story,
Yeah.
I feel.
I feel like this episode, I mean, like it would come back in 10 years.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Like we'll talk about like, what have the Judsons been up to in the last 10 years?
Can you believe that the sixth generation of Portos killed the Andy Gump family?
They went to war with the Zanku family?
I'd love to. Now that's a Hulu series I'd watch.
That's a Hatfields and McCoys I want to see.
Zankus and Portos. No matter who wins.
Food.
No matter who wins, I'm using the Andy Gump. So that's our family business January episode. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy 20. What a great year this promises to be. And maybe.
Hey, you never know.
This is the year of the important elections.
Yeah. Oh boy. Let's hope that all those seats haven't been bought yet. Like a losing baseball team, maybe this year.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
You know, they say that there's seats in Congress. More like Andy Gump's in Congress. That's the kind of seat. Got them.
This is political
the swamp.
Humor. Yeah. I'm Lenny Bruce. This is political humor.
So enjoy 2026. And who knows what's going to happen in between this and the next episode. Last year was quite a disaster.
Yes.
So
happened fast.
So we'll see you in the Love Month. February. And that's been yet another episode of LA Meekly, a family company since 2013.
Papi?
Papa?
That you, Papa?
Yeah, this is when we open the blood results. Somehow we're both each other's father. I don't know how that happened.
I do.
Oh, wait. Now I remember.
I remember.
Oh, yeah.